Welcome back. I've got a short one for you today, and it surrounds why you might not be closing as much business as you should.
Welcome to this edition of Peak Performance Podcast
with your host, Thor Conklin.
Thor will be sharing the necessary tools, strategies, and psychology you'll need to become a peak performer in any area of your life or business.
Thor Conklin here. We give you the tricks, the tips, the tools, the strategy, the technology, and the psychology peak performers use in order to get more done and execute at the highest level. If you know what to do but struggle with getting it all done, or simply want to raise your game to the next level, this podcast is for you. Sit back and enjoy. I have a few simple rules in business and in my life. Well, maybe I've got more than just a few, but one of them is you're either early or you're late. There is no on time. And I always strive to be early. And if I'm going to run late, I always give someone a heads up, not 2 minutes before I'm going to get there, but literally. As a matter of fact, I advised somebody the other day at 7 a.m. that I could not be on time for an 11 a.m. meeting. I just knew I wasn't going to make it on time. And I let them know ahead of time, way ahead of time, so they had time to plan. Well, today, I was on my way over to a client's office, and it takes normally about 28 minutes to get over there. So, when do I leave my home? You guessed it, 45 minutes before the appointment. Why? Because I don't know what's going to happen on the road. I don't have any idea what the traffic is. Something might happen. There might be an accident. Who knows? Just more traffic. Well, guess what? Today, there was more traffic. And it took me about 40 minutes to get there. But I was not late. I was still early. And it was interesting as I'm running to the elevator. Actually, I wasn't running to the elevator. As I was going to the elevator, there was this woman running to the elevator. And she was just frantic. Very professionally dressed, high heels, briefcase. You could see that she was absolutely late for wherever she was going. She's pushing the elevator button, pushing. Elevator comes. She goes to jump in before even the other people jump off. And as I got in the elevator, obviously she was late. I decided not to push the floor that I was going to because if her floor was above mine, I wanted to give her the opportunity to get off the elevator first. She actually hit the 3rd floor. I was going to the 8th floor. So it wasn't a big deal. And it was interesting because here she is running around. I don't know what happened to her that morning, but she's absolutely frantic, running, nearly killing herself in her high heels, just driving the stress level beyond what it needs to be. Stop doing that. Start budgeting in time for things to go wrong because things do go wrong. They will go wrong. Make sure you have enough time in your schedule for these issues that might come up. Now, I told you that it takes about 28 minutes to get there, but I budget 45 minutes. So what do I do in order to make sure that I leave on time? I put a reminder in my calendar with an alarm that goes off 50 minutes before I'm supposed to be there. Not 45, 50. That allows me 5 minutes to collect my stuff, get out of any discussion or email or anything I'm working on, grab my stuff, and walk leisurely out the door. Every time I have a call scheduled, if I have a 1:30 call scheduled, I put in an alarm in my phone at 1:25. It goes off, and I take 5 minutes to collect myself. And when my phone hits the mark, 1:30, the phone gets dialed. Now, many of you are probably sitting there going, oh my goodness, I mean, this is just like too much. Let me tell you a story. Last week, I had a prospect call me, actually email me and said, I'd really like to find out what you're doing. I'd like to work with you. Can you call me at, I think it actually was 1:30 his time in California. I said, absolutely. Never spoken to the individual, don't know him. He was a recommendation from a president of a large organization that knows me and asked me to work with him. At 1:30, I dialed the phone. He immediately picked up and he said, you know what? I knew it was you. Everything that I've seen about you and heard about you, I knew you were going to be on time. One of my biggest pet peeves is people not doing what they said they're going to do and doing it on time. He said he actually fired someone because they did not show up on time, a consultant. Had I been late in making that phone call, I could have lost tens of thousands of dollars in consulting fees as a result of simply being a few minutes late. You're early or you're late. There is no on time. You get a bonus in this episode as well. Let's go back to the woman. She's in the elevator, and in Atlanta right now, we're having trouble with traffic because one of our highways, actually a section of it, actually burned and actually fell. So one of our major highways in the city is not working, and everybody's taking all these other routes to get to work. So as you can imagine, traffic is not too nice right now in Atlanta, Georgia. I made a comment to her that this is spring break week and that next week the traffic is even going to be worse. Hopefully that she take heed and plan ahead. And her response to me was, I don't even want to think about that. And I walked away and I realized that there are so many of you sticking your head in the sand, ignoring the initial problem, the thing that's right in your face right now. It's about to get worse and you don't want to look at it. You don't want to admit it. You don't want to deal with it, knowing full well that next week it's even going to be worse. Problems don't get better. Problems don't simply go away. They simply get worse. So my question of the day, what system do you have in place to ensure that you are always early and not late? Have you trained your team to know the difference between early and late and that there is no on time? And what problem, what issue is lurking out there? You know it's there. It's been there for a while. It's staring you in the face and you just don't want to look at it. Is it a financial issue? Is it a relationship issue? Is it an employee issue? Is it a sales issue? Whatever that issue is, deal with it today. Come up with an action plan. Start taking action to resolve it. The last thing that you need in your life is another energy vampire, another energy drain. Eliminate them. Tackle them head on. Lean into them. Thank you so much for listening today. I really do appreciate your time, and I hope you found today's show valuable. If you would like to receive these shows automatically to your phone or to your computer, simply go to iTunes and subscribe. After listening to several of the shows, if you're so inclined, please leave us a 5-star rating, as this helps us reach additional people and spread the message. If you're truly committed to taking your life to the next level and doing whatever it takes to become a peak performer, but something's holding you back, something is blocking your way, and you just can't seem to figure out what it is, send me an email to info@thorconklin.com, and I'd be more than happy to get on the phone with you. We'll schedule a 15-minute discovery call. No obligation, no cost. I absolutely love to hear from the listeners, and if there's something I can do to help, I'd be more than happy to do that. Also, if you found something of great interest in today's show and you want to share that with your friends and family, simply go to my Facebook page, Thor Conklin, click on the episode, hit the share button, and share it on your page. You can follow me at Twitter at Thor Conklin. The website is thorconklin.com. We're constantly adding new free resources, discussing additional tricks, tips, tools, and strategies on how to be a peak performer. Remember, I try to keep these episodes short so you can listen to them during dot time, doing other things, commuting, driving, walking, working out. Decide to be a peak performer in all that you do. And until tomorrow, have an absolutely amazing day.